Howdy folks, this is Justro at Metcalf Mills bringing you Fun Fact Friday, because this day and time, facts are hard to come by. I got a good one for you today. We're going up in the woods. Hope you enjoy it. Folks, I'm up here in the woods on Chestnut Mountain, and on this side, this is the south facing slope. It's mostly poplar timber. There's a lot of poplar. There's white oak and gum and some mountain maple trees, and it used to be some ash. It's starting to die, and then some red oak, chestnut oak, and pin oak, but it's mostly poplar. The biggest trees in here, right in this area where I'm at, are poplar, and you can see they reach way up there. And a poplar, it usually don't have no limbs till you get way up on it. Let's zoom in here so you can look. See, there ain't no limbs on them until you get way up there, and they'll start having some limbs. They make good logs because they're long and straight. They're just as straight as they can be. And there's a few big ones up here. Right here's two big ones. They're really the monsters of the woods right here where I'm at. They're the biggest. The next biggest tree we got's hickories, and they're up on top mostly, so. But the poplars are the monsters right here where I'm at. Show you what these poplar leaves look like right here. That's what a poplar leaf looks like. And another name for them, they call them a tulip tree or a tulip poplar, because up amongst the leaves on the end of the limbs there, they'll have a little old yaller and orange trimmed blossom. It looks like a tulip kinda. And there ain't none on right now, or I'd show you one, but they call them a tulip tree or a tulip poplar. Around here, we just call them a poplar. Right here, I wanted to show you. This is a young poplar, and you can see how slick that bark is. It's real slick. And people would cut them poles like that to make rafters out of, and maybe some framing, just all kinds of things. Them little straight poplar poles, that in there ain't the straightest, but when they grow out more even and not tucked in like that, they are kind of tucked in. They grow, most of them grows real straight and long. And right here's a little young poplar, and you can see how that bark's starting to get rough. The older it gets, the rougher that bark gets. The bark on a poplar tree, it's pretty rough. Like I can fit my fingers down in between them and that bark there. It's pretty rough on the bigger poplars. Now on the young poplars, it ain't that rough. I'll show you. You can see how big this particular tree is. I can't nowhere near reach around it. It's a big one. It's close to 24 inches through. Now, folks, right here's another big old poplar. It's bigger than that other one we looked at. This one here's a monster. It's got a little crook to it, a little curve. It ain't straight like that other one was. Are you on a bear track, Bear? Are you on a bear track, boy? Are you on a bear track? Go get him, boy. Go get him. What you after, Penny? What you after, Penny? What you after, girl? Poplar trees was used all down through time in the olden days for different things, and they'd make house logs out of them to build a log house. They'd use a little smaller poles for rafters and just anywhere they needed some framing. And the old poplars, they turn yaller inside. When they get real old and ripe, I guess you could say, they turn yaller inside, and that's called a yaller poplar. And when it gets that way, it'll resist bugs. Bugs don't want to mess with it. It won't rot as easy. And before it gets to that stage, it's just a white poplar. And the white poplar it ain't near as strong and tough as the yaller poplar is. But it takes a long time for a tree to turn yaller. I'd say this tree right here, if we cut it down, most likely it'd be yaller inside. And that's way better wood than the little old young white poplars. There ain't many poplars this day and time gets to live long enough to turn into a yaller poplar. But that yaller poplar is some good wood. Poplar is, when it's young, it's soft, but it's still considered a hard wood. And people liked it for wood cook stoves because it burns fast and gets real hot. And they favored it for them wood cook stoves. They could build a fire and it'd get real hot and cook their meal, then it'd burn out real fast. So it wouldn't lay there and have coals like some of your hardwood does. And poplar was favored for making dough bowls, and they made a little bit of furniture with it, and eating utensils. If you wanted to make a utensil to eat with, that poplar, you can count on it won't impart no flavor and nothing. And if you wanted to build meat boxes to salt your meat down and cure it in, or boxes to hold your grain, or anything like that food-wise, poplar was your best bet, because it ain't going to impart no kind of taste into your food. Poplar was also used inside of homes a lot, in old houses, for paneling. They even made floor joists out of it. And I've seen some old houses that had poplar framing in the walls, just poles stood up. So they used it for a lot of different things. And like I was saying, it's good in the kitchen, making dough bowls, cutting boards, dough boards, whatever you need in the kitchen, poplar was good for that. And they also used it to make caskets out of. Something else that they like to use poplar for was making ox yokes, because it was lightweight when they got done with it and it dried out, and it was easy to work. And they could make them ox yokes to go on a team of oxen, and it was light for the oxen to carry, and they was strong enough to hold up under use. On the bigger poplars, something else they've started doing here in modern times is you cut them about all the way around with a saw about every 2 feet. And then you cut long ways down the tree, and you peel that bark off in 2-foot wide sections, and you lay it flattened out. And what they do with that is they put it in these frames and dry it to where it's nice and flat and straight, and then people covers their sides of their house with it on the outside. Poplar bark siding. They put it up on the gables. It makes a gray, rough looking finish. It makes a real nice job when you get done with it. What are you after, boy? What are you after? What's down in there? What's down in there, bear? And when you're out in the mountains and you see an old rotten log tore up like that, see how that's tore up and busted up? You know an old bear's been around. Because them old bears, they'll find a rotten log like that and they'll just tear it all to pieces with them big old paws and claws, looking for grub worms to eat. So if you see that, you know there's been a bear around. Folks, I hope you enjoyed the Fun Fact Friday today. I sure did enjoy getting up in the woods, looking around. It's always an enjoyable time, and it's good for you. If you get a chance to go in the woods sometime and just look around, it'd do you a lot of good. If you don't own no woods, you can still maybe find some around in your area just to go visit and get out and walk a little bit. It'll do you a lot of good if you will. Like this video if you will, subscribe if you ain't already, tell your friends about me, and hit that notifications bell so you can get these videos when they're fresh. Don't let them get old and stale. I'm going to have a little update on the grain mill coming up here. I've just been trying to take care of so many things that it's slow. But I want everybody to know that old Justro's pressing on, and we're doing the best we can. But I'll have an update for you here soon. And I hope y'all have had a great Friday. Try to spend just a little bit of time this weekend watching Metcalf Mills videos. And I look forward to seeing you real soon.